I made a toastie for my girlfriend. She's a world-class chef, and she looks at me and says it's better than hers. I laughed, like, come on. This woman can fillet a fish like a surgeon. She can plate a salad like stained glass, and she's telling me my toastie is better? But she kept chewing, dead serious, and then she goes, I can't make it this good. That's when everything flipped. For one little square of bread, the kitchen wasn't hers anymore. Somehow, the crown ended up on my head. Here's why that sentence shouldn't exist in our house. She's not just good at cooking, she's the kind of good that makes other chefs stand taller when she walks by. She's turned down jobs at places with waitlists longer than most relationships. And me? When we moved in, I tried. A pan sauce here, a roast chicken that set off the smoke alarm, even pasta al limone on a brave night. She'd kiss me and say, "This is really nice," in that careful tone you use when you don't want to crush someone you love. So I settled into my role. She cooks, I clean. She'd come home after 12 hours of fire and chaos, smelling like smoke and citrus. I'd have a towel ready, music low, fridge door open on cue. She'd tell me, just sit with me. And I would. We'd eat, talk a little, and crash. Then one afternoon, she was napping and I got hungry. The fridge had scraps, end of sourdough, one tomato, a chunk of cheddar. I sliced the tomato thin, salted it, buttered the bread, and sprinkled a little salt outside. Inside, mustard, cheese, tomato. Pan just under medium. The air went still, like the kitchen was waiting too. Dropped the sandwich down, gentle. The butter hissed, a slow applause. No lid, steam ruins the crunch. Waited for that smell, that mix of Saturday cartoons, melted cheese, and summer rain on pavement. Flip once. The bread was golden, not burnt, just shy of perfect. Gentle press, cheese stretched. That mix of Saturday cartoons, melted cheese, and summer rain on pavement. Flip once. The bread was golden, not burnt, just shy of perfect. Gentle press, cheese stretched. Strings pulling like it didn't want to let go. When the underside whispered back with that little crackle, I knew I had it. She walked in, half asleep, hair messy, lines still on her cheek from the pillow. "What's that?" "Toastie," I said, and handed her a piece. She took a bite, chewed once, stopped. Another bite. Then she froze. Her face changed, like she was recalculating everything she thought she knew. And she said it. "I can't make it this good." I laughed, because what else do you do? But she didn't laugh. She stared at me like I'd been hiding a whole other life. "This is perfect," she said. Perfect. My little sandwich. And suddenly my stomach flipped. If she was serious, then what did that mean? Had I just beaten her at the one thing she built her life on? It didn't feel like pride. It felt like I'd stepped somewhere sacred without meaning to. After that, it became our thing. "Toastie?" she'd text after service. Midnight. Hands still covered in flour, skin raw from hot pans. I'd get up, set the stage, bread, butter, the right pan. Sometimes the tomato was sweet, like summer. Sometimes it tasted like cardboard. But it didn't matter, because what she wanted wasn't perfection. It was attention. It was care. I cooked quiet, like the house was asleep, and maybe part of me was afraid to wake the spell. She'd sit at the counter, shoes kicked off, her whole body sinking into the chair. She'd take that first bite, eyes closing just a second longer than normal. Then, the long exhale, the one that empties out the day. And she'd ask, "How?" Half laughing, half serious. And I'd shrug, pretending I hadn't just been waiting, ear tilted toward the pan, for the exact moment the crackle told me it was ready. Her friends came by once. Chefs, the kind who move like they're still on the line even in someone's living room. One of them asked for a snack, and she said he makes the best toastie. I swear my heart almost stopped, but I made them anyway. They bit in, then questions flying at me. Pan temp, what butter, do you cover it? And I told them, I don't chase flavor, I chase the moment. I wait for the sound. For 1 insane minute, I was the one teaching chefs how to cook. Here's the thing though, when you become someone's comfort, you stop being optional. Every toastie wasn't just a sandwich. It was her saying, I need you. If I said no, it was still just food, but it also wasn't. So I started planning ahead. Bread frozen so it sliced clean. Butter always in stock. Tomato worth the knife. We joked about it. She called me her toastie guy, and the way she said it, half proud, half teasing, hit me harder than I wanted to admit. Sometimes she'd show me her hands, the calluses and burns from the line. These built a tasting menu, she'd say, but they can't make that. And she'd laugh, but there was something in her eyes, like maybe she was relieved to let me have this one thing. Or maybe it stung, just a little. One night I asked, does it bother you? She paused, long enough that I thought I'd screwed up by asking. Then she said, no. Yes? Not the way you think. It's humbling. This is yours. And after the chaos, it's exactly what I want. Then softer, please don't stop. I won't, because I finally get it.
She cooks to impress strangers. I cook to ground her. She builds symphonies. I hum the tune she needs right now. The secret isn't technique, it's attention. Over and over until it looks like talent. And honestly, that realization changed me too. I stopped thinking of myself as the one who doesn't cook, because maybe it's not about being great. Maybe it's about being there. About showing up at midnight with butter and bread when that's all somebody needs. Sometimes I still worry I crossed a line, that my little victory chipped at her pride. But then she comes home, wrecked, and says, toastie? And it all lines up again. I butter the bread, the room goes quiet, she takes a bite, exhales. And in that moment, she's not a chef, not a storm, she's just mine. And I'm hers. She's the hurricane that feeds a city. I'm the porch light that says she's home. And honestly, I like it that way. Me? I make the one thing she can't. And that's enough, because a toastie doesn't lie. It's bread, cheese, tomato, heat, and care. If I've learned anything, it's that care is the one thing you can't fake. So I keep the sourdough ready. I taste the tomato every time. I wash the pan by hand. Because ritual matters. And when she texts me toastie with a heart emoji at midnight, I go. I listen for the crackle, and I catch the moment. People ask if I'd ever make it a business, open a truck, sell it. But no, this isn't a brand. It's a love letter you can eat. And on nights she insists on making it herself, I sit back, watch her fight the urge to overcomplicate it. She glances at me. We laugh. She hands me the plate. I take a bite and say, almost there. She rolls her eyes, kisses my forehead. Fine, make me another. And I do, gladly, because this is ours. Because some crowns are better shared. And because sometimes the simplest dish is the one that makes you feel like you belong.